Welcome to the RavensSpace on YouTube. My name is Jason, and this is RavensSpace Daily, where we talk about Baltimore Ravens news every single weekday. Thank you guys so much for joining me today. We have 3 news topics we can't wait to get into, and a mailbag question. I want to say thank you guys so much for joining us. Please subscribe on the RavensSpace YouTube if you want more great Baltimore Ravens video. We have the best Baltimore Ravens video on the internet. Also, a special shout out to our Patreon subscribers, because without you guys, none of this is possible. Thank you guys so much. Now we're going to hop into the first story of the day, and it talks about running back Kenneth Dixon's injury. Some more details. So details came out officially today that Kenneth Dixon is out for the rest of the season. Again, it's a big blow to a running back who is a young player and that really needs all the time he can get with this competition. I know you guys like him, but Terrence West is getting better every single day. Danny Woodhead, though I don't know if he's getting better, is going to be a formidable force on the Ravens offense when it comes to snaps. And I just thought that Kenneth Dixon needed all the help he can get, and he really hurt himself. And now the injury just takes him out of contention altogether. So I do personally think that our backfield got weaker. I did think that Kenneth Dixon had the most potential and the most raw talent, but now, we can't call on him, and he won't get better because he'll be rehabbing his injury. Now, some more details came out. He actually hurt his knee while training at his college with his old college coach. And so, it's one of those things that sucks when, you're training, you're trying to get better, and you get injured. It's a bad thing. And John Harbaugh, when he gave his statement, was very disappointed. He didn't give it off. He didn't say he's disappointed, but it really did feel that way. And so I'm super disappointed for Kenneth Dixon and the Ravens offense that keeps on taking hits. And it's crazy the amount of injuries we've had already. You've had Tavon Young, Dennis Pitta, and Kenneth Dixon all out for the season. It's just a terrible thing. I don't know what they're going to do with Kenneth Dixon. I haven't heard that they put him on the PUP list yet. I think they may have to wait till a certain time period to do that, or they'll just put him on IR. I think they'll probably go the IR route, but this is what happens in this league. People get hurt all the time, and it's so bad that a young player, especially a young player at maybe the position that has the least shelf life, got hurt. And let me know in the comments below, do you think this will have an effect on the Ravens as a whole, or can they just slot in another running back like Bobby Rainey to, take those snaps? And then the next story is a story that I'm super happy about. Not only happy about because it just shows the kind of football players that I grew up with. So Terrell Suggss had a secret surgery to remove the bone chips in his elbow. And it's just like, man, Terrell Suggss is a bad guy, man. He's like super just into this football thing, and I love it, right? It reminds you of the plays they used to play with broken hands and stuff like that. So last year he was playing with damage. He got the surgery to remove the bone chips. He says he feels 100% now. Terrell Suggss says this every year, but he said he's 100%. He's ready to go. He's a tough guy. In my eyes, he's taking steps to become a future Hall of Famer. Each year that he plays longer, even if he doesn't have a great year, if he has an average year, he accumulates those stats and gets into the Hall of Fame. Back to the news story, he had a secret surgery to remove the bone chips in his elbow. Now they're gone, so he should be ready to play. I hope Terrell Suggss has a great year. We're going to need him to have a great pass rush year in order for our team to be the best they can be. So I'm super excited to see what happens this year for the Baltimore Ravens and Terrell Suggss. And it was a light news day, so I decided to, forego a third news story and give you guys a cool, fun thing to do as a RavensSpace community. So here at the RavensSpace, we're going to do fantasy football, and there's no money, there's no gambling, there's none of that. Again, that's not what we do here. I want to warn you guys that this will not become a fantasy football show, right? I will not talk about fantasy football on the show, like, who to start, who to sit. That's not, we're here about the Baltimore Ravens and specifically the Baltimore Ravens news. Now, if those cross over, like for example, if Joe Flacco is the #1 fantasy football quarterback in the NFL by week 10, then I'll report on that. But other than that, I'm not. But I do want to give you guys an opportunity to play fantasy football with us here at the RavensSpace. You want to play fantasy football with us at the RavensSpace? Please do that. We're going to have 3 leagues. So we're going to have, maybe 10 team league, so you guys will have a chance to play. We'll have at least 30 people playing this fantasy football. It's going to be awesome. You're going to be able to connect with us. If you want to play fantasy football against us here at the RavensSpace, please, please, please send an email to TheRavensSpace@gmail.com. I'll put a link in the description below for the email, so you guys can just send me and the header, put fantasy football. It'll be on ESPN. So if you don't have an ESPN account, you have to create one. But it'll be an awesome thing for us to get together and play fantasy football against each other. Again, no money, no prizes or whatever. Just, you can say I suck. You can say anyone sucks, whatever you want to do. We just want to play the game and have fun. Except for if you're a Patreon subscriber. Because if you're a Patreon subscriber and you end up winning the Fantasy Football League, it doesn't matter at what level you subscribe, we will get you a prize. So if you are a $1 subscriber and you play and you win, then we'll get you a prize. If you're a $100 subscriber and you win and you play and you win, you'll probably already get a prize better than that on a monthly basis, probably already, but we'll still give you a prize anyway. So again, if you want a prize, you have to sign up for the Patreon, become a Patreon member, and if you win, it's still free for everybody. Everyone can join. But if you're not a Patreon member and you win, you just get the accolades of being a champion. And if you are a Patreon member and you join and you win one of the leagues, then you get the accolades and you get a special prize, which may be a Ravens jersey of your choice. So please join the leagues. Send me an email, TheRavensSpace@gmail.com. If you're on Patreon already, I'll put a special link in there for you guys so you guys can join up. You'll see all the information there. The drafts will be after the 3rd week of the preseason. So please, please, please get ready. Let's play some games together. It'll be awesome. And then, like we do at the end of every single Ravens Space Daily, we have a question from the Ravens Space community. And this question comes from Gregory. And Gregory says, "Sup, Jason? I have a question for your mailbag. I would like to know your thoughts on the Ravens signing other receivers. While their top 3 of Perryman, Maclin, and Wallace are great, I am worried about one of them getting hurt. I think the Ravens lack depth. What are your thoughts?" Thank you so much for your question, Gregory. Now, this is a very, very fair, and I understand what you're saying. Bashard Perryman had a big injury and was also nicked up a little bit last season, but he, played through it. Mike Wallace has had little nicks and bruises in the past. He's never really been injured for a sustained period of time, from my knowledge. And, Maclin had a big injury. He pulled his groin last season, which hampered his play. So I do see what you're saying, but I think it's kind of one of those situations where you have to either choose to sign a veteran who's going to take some money and he'll only give your team 1 year or 2 years of play, or you let Chris Moore go out there, or Keenan Reynolds go out there and get better. And so you have to pick, right? Do you want your young kids to get better, or do you want to get a trusted veteran who can play? If I was a GM, especially at the 4th receiver position, I'll put a young guy out there and let the young guy try to make plays. So I would put him out there, and if they don't perform, maybe you consider going to get a player like Anquan Bolden. But again, Anquan Bolden's only going to last you a year. Do you really want that? He has to fit into your scheme. You have to throw him the ball because he's a veteran, stuff like that, right? Or you get a Chris Moore out there. Let Chris Moore get better. Let Keenan Reynolds get better. Or let a Chris Matthews, who has been in the league for a while, but he still has so much room to grow because he's so raw. Let them get better, and let them have a chance to be, a part of your team in the future. So that's what I think. That's what I would do. You guys, let me know what you would do in the comments below. I would really appreciate it. Thank you guys so much for joining me today. Please subscribe to Ravens Space on YouTube for more Baltimore Ravens content. Check out our Patreon page where we give the Patreon subscribers the very best we can. Also, check out our different social media channels and our t-shirt store. Thank you guys so much, and go Ravens.